Rockabacco here from MastonSports.com School of Rock with Orioles manager Buck Showalter. Our latest edition of Buck Blog, and Buck, by my faulty math, I believe you now have used the disable list 11 times this season. Is this kind of testing the depth of the organization, I guess?
Yeah, it's nobody wants to hear it. It's a very convenient excuse if you go there. I look at it as providing some opportunities. I'd rather not provide them in some cases, but it's that's why our morale in our organization is so high, and the scouts, player development, the players, they know that's where we're going. You'd like to not have it tested so deep, but we have things in place to try to keep that from being a factor. But it is not only for us, but for everybody. And these injuries are self-inflicted, so we better handle it.
Now, how good do you feel about the young pitching depth? A lot of people talk about Gausman, they talk about Bundy, but for example, a kid like Mike Wright that comes up, and you've got some others down the system who could be knocking on the door.
Well, I'd forget somebody. Steve Johnson. Dylan's throwing the ball well again. So many guys down there, and I'm going to miss some guys. Tyler Wilson, Zach Davies. It's probably one of the most encouraging things. I think whatever happens this offseason, I really feel good about where we'll be with our pitching, and allow us to do some other things we have to. But both those pitching staffs are pitching real well in AA and AAA. I'm talking about not only the starters, but in the bullpen, and they're all well thought of. So it's very encouraging for us, because that's what's going to allow us to be consistent is the quality of pitching we can run out there.
Shifting topics, if I was compiling a list of all the non-division games you've played so far, it would be a very small list. Is this just further evidence that all schedules are not created equally?
Well, you know how I feel about that, but it's, I understand there's so many things that we weigh in on that, if you sat in their shoes, and you would probably be made aware of some challenges that they face and why they have to do some of these things. But it is, and the one thing that we're all competing for the same is the wild card. We're trying to win our division. We're trying to figure out a way to be better than 4 other teams. But if you don't, the one thing that all 15 teams in your league are competing for is the wild card, and you're playing completely different challenges. The draw in the interleague, everybody thinks their division's the best, and I have a lot of respect for what's going on in the West and Central. They're really solid, so I don't dwell on that. But it's a challenge early on, and you have to be ready, and it challenges your pitching staff.
Jimmy Paredes was like the talk of spring training, and it's continued into the season. I know you've got him batting third. You just keep riding this for as long as it goes and just hope it continues?
Well, Jimmy's one of those guys that he's got an opportunity, and just when you think he has a couple at bats or whatever, you're going, okay, maybe he might be regressing a little bit to a different level. He's not going to let you take him out of the lineup. I mean, he's been on the other side, and he likes it here. He knows people like him, and they appreciate and respect what he brings. And Jimmy's a guy that's taking an opportunity and running with it, and it's going to be hard to get it away from him. I'm not looking to do that.
Rockabacco with Orioles manager Buck Showalter, latest edition of Buck Blog.